Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in, to Renee Box Young. This is a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, and simply talk about the sport of boxing in a mature, level-headed fashion. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your support, commenting in the comment sections of the videos, chopping it up concerning the subject matter of the videos that I push, and it's all about sport of boxing and other things also, periodically I push other things as well, other topics. And I really appreciate you all, thank you so much for your support, tuning into the lives, collaborating in the lives, the live sessions that I've been pushing lately and that I, constantly push. It's just great. The flash lives, the scheduled lives. You are all awesome. You make the platform what it is, what I'm saying? So definitely, I really appreciate you all, ladies and gentlemen, subscribers since day one, recent subscribers. I really appreciate you all, a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, and just talk about sport of boxing in a level-headed fashion. I just want to make that really clear, as I generally do, so thank you so much. You guys are awesome. If there are any new listeners, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. If you love the sport of boxing, this is a place for you. What I'm saying? This is a place for you. So I want to talk about, Keith Thurman, man. Game over. Is it game over for him? Is it game over for Keith Thurman? Oh, man. And it's interesting, huh? Isn't it ironic how he uses that shirt, too? Game over, right? Years ago, I think he used that shirt. But, yeah, man, definitely. Is it game over for him? What do you think? What do you think? I want to lay the foundation of this video of my thoughts, first and foremost by appreciating what Keith Thurman has done in his career, concerning what he has done. I mean, we can't, I kind of want to start like that. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman, the names he's fought. Let's get right to it. Boxrec.com, whatever, link in the description. Check it out. We got the names here. You already know the names. And the thing here, he just has one loss. I mean, so, let's show some love to him. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate what he's done. I appreciate his career. I appreciate the fights he's brought, to the community, to the world. I enjoyed his fights. Manny Pacquiao, obviously he lost, but that's his only loss. Josito Lopez had a struggle with him. Around that time, since around, I don't remember exactly, but around 2016, something like that, 17. I think after Danny Garcia is when he just started coming in and out. It's 2021 now. It was around 2017. He just started, fluctuating definitely in the sport, just definitely fluctuating. I mean, but he has decent names. I mean, tough competition he's fought in the welterweight division, Robert Guerrero, Collazo, Porter, Garcia, Danny, and at that time, obviously Sean Porter younger, stronger. I'm not saying Sean Porter's old or anything like that, but at that time, I mean, Keith Thurman fought the guys, what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate him, at that time, obviously Spence was coming up, Spencer wanted to fight Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman said, you got to get a belt or what have you. Whatever he said, he didn't want to fight him, in other words, and in my humble opinion, he just didn't want to fight him. But I appreciate what he has done. That's kind of what I'm trying to say here. I appreciate what Keith Thurman has done in his career, for what it was. I mean, he's coming out, recently, and we're going to get to that article in a moment, but it seems like to me, man, this is just my perspective. I mean, obviously he has skills, no one can take that away from him, to this day, what I'm saying? I mean, to this day, he has the skills, he has decent skills still. I really don't even know. I don't even know how old he is, what I'm saying? But when he fought Pacquiao, when he fought Josito Lopez, Lopez put some work on him, hurt him to the body. And he was in trouble. I think it was around round 7. I don't remember exactly. Keith Thurman was in trouble. And we saw a parallel to that with Manny Pacquiao. He obviously knocked him down. Manny Pacquiao also hurt him to the body, later on in the fight. And, but Keith Thurman still has some skills, what I'm saying? I'm not going to deny nor negate that, what I'm saying? He's still a game opponent to a certain extent now, as of now in the welterweight division, as of late. He can still do something. You know what I mean? He can still do something. That's kind of like my perspective regarding Keith Thurman and what he can bring still to the welterweight division, okay? To the sport of boxing. He can still do something. That's kind of, my perspective on that, in that aspect. However, ever since he's been fluctuating, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't know if I'm impatient, but You know, with the sport of boxing, man, if you're getting injured constantly, you're taking 1.5 year layoffs and then just coming back to fight and then you disappear for another year. I get tired of that very quick as a boxing fan. I said this before. I just don't remember which video I said it in. I don't remember what live session or what have you I said it in, you know, on my channel. But I've said this, like, you know, the welterweight division has been passing Keith Thurman by. It's been passing him by, man. The world is not going to wait on a fighter. You know what I'm saying? The world is not. I mean, fighters are going to come up, you know, while one sleeps, another's eating. While one sleeps, another one is working. Somebody else is working. I mean, we got to be factual here. You know what I'm saying? It's a reality. Whoever you are, whatever fighter, whoever the fighter is, if you start taking breaks and long layoffs, there are other up-and-comers that are grinding. There are other champs that are working on their craft and not sleeping. You see what I'm saying? Per se. And they're going to catch you up, man. And they're going to pass you by. I mean, it is what it is. You know, the sport of boxing, man, it's demanding. The sport of boxing is demanding. And you have to be in your A game as much as you can. And that's what takes a toll on a fighter. Which is why I admire fighters. You know what I'm saying? I just admire those who are active, those who are pushing, those. And Keith Thurman, in this case, because that's who this video is about. That's what this video is about. Ever since he started, you know, these injuries and fluctuating approximately after Danny Garcia, it's like, you know, I definitely, around 2017, 2018, I definitely lost interest in him. I lost a lot of interest in him. I'm not saying like 100%, but I'm at the point, and I've been at the point, which is exactly why, and I've said it time and time again concerning other subject matter, other fighters and other topics, you know, which is why I really don't push videos about Keith Thurman anymore. The reason why I'm pushing it now is because, you know, I want to contemplate with you, you know, in the comment sections, you know what I'm saying, when I premiere, you know, this video, I want to hear what you got to say. And if you go to my channel, I mean, the last time I talked about Thurman was, I don't even know. I mean, I've obviously mentioned him here and there in the live session or what have you, but I don't talk about him anymore because, I mean, that's how my interest is in certain fighters. Now, there are a whole lot of fighters to talk about. There's just too many, and it's great. I think it's awesome. There's such a variety in the sport of boxing. That's the richness when it comes to the sport of boxing, you know. And other sports obviously have their rich factors, you know, when it comes to history, when it comes to a wealth of, you know, athletes in the sport, in each sport. And the sport of boxing, it has that. It's just a global sport, and it's beautiful. One reason why I don't talk about other fighters sometimes is because of the, you know, there's so many out there. Another reason, when it comes to big names like Keith Thurman, okay, when it comes to big names like Keith Thurman, or, you know, I don't really talk about them because they're not doing much. That's another reason why I don't talk about certain fighters much. I do to a certain extent, but I don't repeat the same thing over and over about a certain fighter because I want to see new things. And when there's nothing new going on about a certain fighter, I move on, man, as a fan, you know, as a content, I guess you could say a content creator, you know, on my channel. I got to move on, man. I mean, if you're not producing, if you're not working, if you're not putting in work, why do I want to talk about you? There's nothing to talk about, with all due respect. And that's how I've felt. That's how I have felt about Keith Thurman for a long time. For like I said, around 2018, I just stopped looking at this. You know, I stopped paying attention to Keith Thurman because enough is enough. And I thought that back in around 2018. Comeback year, whatever year he said, and he didn't come back. And, you know, another injury, and, you know, comeback year, just one fight, and you're out of here. You disappear. And then when you say you're going to come back another year later, then you want the top name. You know, what I see, the pattern I see here with Keith Thurman is he just wants the money. He got married, obviously, around that time, too. Back at the time I'm saying, around the time I'm saying, I don't remember which year, but that also added, you know, his injuries and his fluctuations. And on top of that, he got married, and that added to his lack of hunger, his lack of, you know, lack of interest or whatever, lack of activity in the sport. You know what I'm saying? And I got to make this clear that the welterweight division in this case, in this division we're just focusing on, it's been passing him by. You got these names coming out. You already know the names. You got these names coming out, you know what I'm saying, in the welterweight division. You know, they're going to pass him up. Now, it's important to say that, you know, to point out, if I'm not mistaken, Keith Thurman is he's ranked high in the WBC rankings. Or one of the rankings, at least. I think it's the WBC. He's ranked up there, you know. And I understand why he's begging for Spence. I mean, he's practically begging at this point, ladies and gentlemen. You know, again, he comes out of nowhere, and now he's calling out Spence all of a sudden. I personally think it's just a money grab. He just wants to, you know, and I also think he wants to stay relevant. He doesn't want to be left behind. It kind of reminds me of Floyd Mayweather, what he does. Kind of reminds me of what Amir Khan does. No, I'm not talking about legacy. No, I'm not talking about, oh, you don't compare him with Mayweather and his legacy. I'm not talking about legacy. I'm talking about how fighters, when they disappear and they just leave, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, they 6 months later, you know, and they start opening their mouths and, you know, it's trying to stay relevant in the headlines. That's how I feel Keith Thurman. That's what I think Keith Thurman is trying to do here. You know what I'm saying? And I repeat, you know, you go to the rankings, I think it's WBC. He's ranked up there. He's like third, you know. And I understand he's calling out Spence, but rightfully so. Rightfully so. I'm not gonna criticize Spence for not paying attention to Thurman. Why would he? Why would he? Do the work. Do the work, Keith Thurman. You know, get back in the game. Get back to being active. But we see through the smoke and mirrors. I do, at least. I kind of see Keith Thurman, he's just coming back for the bag. And after that, he's going to disappear again. You know, the welterweight division is passing him by, okay? And the names, I just said a moment ago, you know, why is the welterweight? It has been passing him by. You know, because you got these names out here coming up. You already know the names. Rashidi Ellis, you know. You got even Conor Benn. I consider him. But, you know, there's some things to talk about with him. Certain aspects that I also do criticize. But I'm taking nothing away from Conor Benn in his last fight against Vargas. I explained that in the last live session. So, my respect to Conor Benn. I mean, he's a name up there. Kind of. Well, he's coming up. He's coming up. Let's just say it like that. Rashidi Ellis. Obviously, everybody knows, you know, Jerome Ennis, you know, Ortiz. You got some names coming up, and they're going to take over the welterweight division, ladies and gentlemen. I've been saying this, you know what I'm saying? I've been saying that, you know, I constantly reference that video. I've been saying also in the heavyweight division, there's going to be changes there soon, ladies and gentlemen, whether we like it or not. It's just, that's life. That's the sport of boxing. You know, a fighter's not going to stay in there a gazillion years and just stay until he's old and, you know, continue fighting. And, you know, it's just not like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna change. The welterweight division, things are going to change soon. Keith Thurman's not going to be in that mix with these changes. And the welterweight division has been passing him by. And it seems like, to me, he's just trying to stay relevant. So let's get to the article, okay? I want to show you this, all right? So that's the box, like I said, I think that's Box Live. Yeah, Box.live. Sorry, I think I said Boxing Scene earlier. Box.live. Link in the description. You're right. So here, this is Boxing News 24. And one of the reasons why I'm mistaken, I kind of slipped up there with Boxing Scene, is because some time ago I went to the rankings in Boxing Scene, and I remember I was making a video. I made a video. I don't remember which one it was, and I explained in that video how I don't go to BoxingScene.com for their rankings anymore, because they had Lomachenko as champ still in one of the divisions when after like weeks after Teofimo beat him. I was like, what the heck's going on, Boxing Scene? Wake up, man. And Box.live seems like they have their rankings and things of that nature more you know, up to date. So that's why I think I messed up there. But anyways, Boxing News 24, link in the description. Yeah. So it says here in the article, Thurman tells Spence, this is what he says: "I'm better than anyone you ever fought. Let's fight." So You can read the article, but more than anything, I just want to, pay attention to the quote here. The quote, Keith Thurman's quote. He said it to PBC, whatever interview it was, right? I'm better than anyone you ever fought. Make the fight. And in the context of this article, there are some things I don't really agree with, but at the same time, there are some things I do agree with here. And it says that in this article that, it seems like Thurman he's practically begging. It says right here, Thurman was practically begging Errol in an interview last week, telling him not to be quote unquote stubborn and that he's a better fighter than all the guys he's fought before during his 9-year professional career. I mean, the thing here is that I agree with that. Whoever wrote that an article, shouts out to the journalist or whatever. I agree. I think, and back to what I was saying, I'm gonna go that I think that Keith Thurman is at the point where he's just coming back to get a bag. I don't pocket watch these guys, man. I just do hope they get well paid. I've talked about it, before in my channel. They deserve, good pay, these fighters, because they're risking their lives, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not sitting here pocket watching them. I guess that's what they call it now, right? The terms nowadays. I don't try to keep up too much with the terms, with the new era, whatever. But I use my own language, you know what I'm saying? But from what I do know, it's called pocket watching, I guess, right? Where you see how much a guy's making and this and that, right? Yeah. It's understandable, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent. And it's important to know to a certain extent when it comes to the sport of boxing because, it is what it is. It's business. But I'm not sitting here looking at, Keith Thurman. Oh, how much money is he making? Oh, he's broke now. And I don't know, man. I really don't know. I can, all due respect, it's not my business. I can care less. I just want to see the, fighters, put their best performances out there. And I want to see them successful. Yes, I do. I do want to see them successful. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Keith Thurman, I don't know if he's desperate because of the money. But I do think he just wants to come back, get a bag, and get the heck out of there. You know what I'm saying? And it does seem, and I agree, with the article that it seems like he's desperate, man. He's just, and I understand. If Spence is ignoring him, great. Why would he pay attention to Keith Thurman, man? Spence is on to bigger and better things. Errol Spence Jr. has been on. He has been on to bigger and better things while Thurman is sitting in the background barking away, Sorry if it sounds, kind of, out there and in your face or what have you, but I think that Keith Thurman should just dedicate himself to maybe being a ringside commentator. He's great at doing that. I love hearing him. I've said it before a long time ago on the channel. Like I said, I just don't remember the videos and the live sessions I've said it in, but I've said it a minute ago. I like to hear Abner Mares as commentator. I like to hear Lennox Lewis as commentator, and one of those also I like to hear Keith Thurman. I like to hear Keith Thurman as commentator ringside. I love how he speaks. Even Danny Garcia, I like how he speaks too in ringside commentating. You know what I'm saying? They're awesome. I love how they break it down and how they, talk about fighters while they're fighting and, what they see and, from a boxer's perspective. And I like how Keith Thurman does that. I really do. I really do, man. And, I think he should just dedicate himself to doing that. And like I said, he's still a game opponent, but right now I see through him calling out the top dogs, and from what I know, he ain't even calling out Bud. If he is, okay, but they're not going to pay attention to him. I think it would be better to see him versus Bud. That would be cool. But Spence is on to bigger and better things. He's been on to bigger and better things. He ain't, if he doesn't pay attention to Keith, great, because a lot of people aren't paying attention to Keith anymore. A lot of these fighters, man, they're just looking over him. And it's kind of sad, but it looks like it's true. At least with me, like I said, I've been looking over this guy. It's like, Keith, come on, man. Just get back to being active. That's the key. That's the key. That's the key. The more active you are, the more money you'll make, and the more, the community will start believing in you again. The more the community will actually consider what you're saying. Because right now, no one's really considering you, man. You see, that's the sad part about it. Isn't that sad? I'm not saying it's game over for Keith Thurman, but it almost is. It almost is. These top champs aren't considering him anymore, man. He's still game. He still can, fight these other guys, underpar guys. Or, highly ranked, I guess, with top 5. Let's put it like that. Top 5. He already fought Porter, yeah, but, he can maybe go back and rematch him. But he can, top 5. Ennis, Boots Ennis, you know what I'm saying? Even a Virgil Ortiz, Maybe Mikey Garcia. I don't know. I don't even know if Mikey Garcia is top 5, but whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. You know, go fight someone, warm up fight or something, whatever you want to call it, top 5, and see how you do there, and then get back to being active. But if you're just gonna play the same cycle, you see, that's the thing here. If he's just gonna come back, you know, fight and disappear for another year, I don't buy that anymore. I don't buy that. I've stopped buying that since 2018, 2019. It's like, you know what? I'm done with this guy. You know, I'm not paying attention to him anymore. And you know, I want to talk about this because what he's recently coming out and saying. I'm not buying it from Keith Thurman, man. I mean, it's sad, but with the talent and blah 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 that he has and what he has done in his career, you know, it's kind of sad. But it is what it is. I think he just dedicate himself to ringside commentary, you know, and things like that in the background, you know, when it comes to sport of boxing. But I really do hope he made investments, smart investments, while he could. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I think he did. I think he'll be well off. You know what I'm saying? But man, what do you think about this? You know, definitely. What's your opinion? You think he can come back? You think it's almost game over for him? You know, as I asked earlier and when I started this video, do you think it's game over for him? You know, do you think he's gonna come back, or do you think, you know, most people are just looking over him and fighters? You know, so, and if I repeat, if he does come back, if he does fight soon, you know, I highly think he's just gonna, you know, come in and leave. You know, just disappear. You know, or do it like he did with Josito Lopez. He's gonna come in, warm up fight, and then try to fight one of the big names, and then just disappear for another year and a half. Yeah, I just don't. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's just my humble opinion. It's almost game over for him. That's my humble opinion there. Almost game over for Keith Thurman. Thanks so much, man, for tuning in, man. Like, subscribe, share. Any new listeners, go ahead and subscribe. Doesn't cost you nothing. Renee Box Young is a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, simply talk about the sport of boxing in a level-headed fashion. Thank you so much. Comment in the comment section. Thank you guys all so much for, you know, jumping into the premieres. You know, it's great. I love chopping up with each and every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. You know, subscribers since day one, recent subscribers. I definitely appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Stay safe, Renee Box Young. Peace out, fam.